Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
Powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. This is the Morning Sports Desk. I'm CJ Baumgartner, Corey Tackman over there. And joining us today on the Morning Sports Desk, Corey, we are doing our activities director interviews again. Why don't you introduce our guest?
From beautiful Henning, Minnesota, it's Randy Misegades. How are you, Randy?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
Good. So the school year's back up. You guys are in it now for the last couple weeks here. Just kind of talk about, as you're getting ready, kind of seeing just overall sports get going again and things get rolling. How fun has it been kind of at the school to see everybody back?
Yeah, it's just fun time of year. Everybody's getting back in the swing of things, and then you get school started. So we're kind of in the flow, I think, now week 3 and ready to roll.
Well, let's dive into the activities then in fall sports. We'll start with the football team. The Bulldogs off to another start 2 weeks into the year already as we approach week 3 and the official start of fall. Where are the Bulldogs at? What can you tell us?
Yeah, so I guess first off, we moved back up to 11-man this year, which is we were kind of on the fringe there. We were one of the smaller 11-mans, but the reality is with the schedule, at least geographically and with natural rivals, it's so much better for us, in my opinion. I mean, we've in 3 weeks now, we played Wadena, Deer Creek, New York Mills. We played Ashby, Brandon, Evansville at home. Our 2 road trips were 20 minutes from Henning, and it's just again, there's differences of opinion, but I feel like it's probably where we fit. And then, we have really good numbers. We had some kids come out for football that, hadn't played in the past, and we're pushing 60 kids, 9-12. So it's a really good problem to have, but we're trying to piece together, some. We've got JV games on the schedule, but we also have 17 freshmen. So they're not all getting into JV games. So now we've added 4 ninth grade only games. So it's a good thing, but, a challenge at the same time. And then as far as the varsity team goes, they've started 3-0. And I think they're going to get into the meat of their schedule now starting this week, Lake Park Audubon with homecoming this week over here. So they're also 3-0, and we'll see where we stack up.
Yeah, and, the coaching staff's been around for a while, making that transition from 11-man to 9-man back to 11-man. But, what can you say about Coach Olson and the entire staff and just what they mean for Bulldogs football? Because this has been a program that's just constantly always been competitive year in and year out.
Yeah, I think people underestimate just stability and consistency. We went from Don Seekes was a football coach and, going back to the days of Henning, Deer Creek, and even just when Henning was alone, then Otter Tail Central, and Eric Olson was an assistant, and we've just kind of transitioned, and the kids just know what's expected. They kind of know, what they need to do each week and just kind of buy into those things. So I think that's a big deal. Even on years where maybe you don't have, the most talented athletes on some years, but we generally have been able to compete even in those years.
Very good. Let's move on then to how about volleyball? Let's touch on Coach Fink's volleyball program and what the Hornets are up to this fall.
Yeah, well, we've kind of had a unique situation with volleyball in that we have a new gym floor in Henning, and like every construction project ever in the history of the world, it's running behind. So we knew we were going to be. Our first couple weeks, they've been practicing in our other gym, which has worked out fine. And we scheduled some games on the road early in the season. And we were supposed to be in there last week. Well, we're still not in there. And so we have homecoming this week. We're supposed to have 2 home games, Battle Lake and Bertha Hewitt. And those games both had to get shifted to the road, which is, in all honesty, it's pretty annoying. But those schools are good to work with, and they're going to come to Henning next year. So we're going to play our homecoming week on the road, and then they put the last coat of finish on the gym floor Saturday morning, and it just needs a week to dry. So in a week we'll be in there, and it looks really nice. But so our volleyball team's been kind of road warriors so far. They played they're 2-1 in just their regular season matches, and then they won the tournament down at Browerville. So they're off to a good start here. But we have 2 tough games this week going on the road to Battle Lake and to Bertha Hewitt.
Randy, it's pretty funny that you get the Dakota finish on just in time for it to be 85 and humid again.
Yeah. Well, the nice part is you're exactly right. Last summer we put in air conditioning. So that has helped with the drying time and so forth, because volleyball was always so dependent on the weather. I mean, we lost home games in the past because the gym floor just wasn't safe with the humidity and how slippery it was. So hopefully we've solved a few things, and we just continue to, as a school district, you just have to continue to put money back into facilities too, to just maintain them and upgrade a few things as you go along.
And, going back to the volleyball team too, that was a team last year that was pretty young, and now still a little bit younger this year, but another year of varsity experience. And obviously Coach Fink and her staff have been around for a long time and are total pros. And what's it like seeing that team kind of develop and come together and take another step this year?
Yeah, they have a pretty good group of seniors now, a lot of upperclassmen, and but they did play a lot of young kids last year, and some of those hitters now that were freshmen last year are sophomores, and so it does help to get another year under your belt for sure. But at the same time, we've still got some young kids playing, and that's the cool part about a small school too. You kind of all mix together, 7th grade, 8th grade on up. And everybody kind of finds their spot and makes it work.
Well, now we'll give you the opportunity, Randy, to just talk about what else is going around Henning this fall. Any other activities that we need to get mentioned? Any other, you mentioned homecoming week, kind of what's going on this week? What's on the immediate calendar in the second half of September?
Yeah, so, our cross-country team, Otter Tail Central Cross Country 2, is led by Brady Spiker over at Battle Lake, and they're actually going to run at the U of M this Saturday, so that's exciting for them. And then we do have homecoming week, so it's a little bit unique here with our co-ops and so forth, because we're Henning for volleyball, and we're going to actually play at Battle Lake tomorrow for a volleyball game, and then Friday night we'll all be cheering for each other, for the football team. So we're all one program there, but just typical homecoming, lots of exciting things going on. Coronation tonight. Parade Friday. Football game is going to be at Battle Lake against Lake Park Audubon Friday night. And, like I said, our volleyball team is going to go on the road twice this week, and then we're going to use that new gym floor for the first time a week from today. So Monday, September 22nd, we host Barnesville in a volleyball game, and we're looking forward to that.
With that new gym floor too, any kind of, is it pretty similar to the original? You guys stepping away from that? Any details, any kind of things you can tease us with as that new gym floor?
Yeah, I should send you guys a picture. I mean, it's not too crazy. I mean, we went back and forth. I mean, when you start dealing with artwork and things, like I probably went back and forth 50 emails on, hey, tweak this line or that line or what color. It's relatively similar. The one thing we went away from, we don't have any white paint on the floor, just because it looks really nice for a year, and then you wax it and it just kind of fades out and turns yellow. So there's a lot more of the natural wood grain showing through. Otherwise, it's relatively similar with a few little nuances that just make it pop a little bit, and a little more orange mixed in there too. So, I just literally walked by the gym coming down here, and the doors were open for the first time, and I met my son Kale in the hallway, and I told him, like, you cannot go in there to shoot baskets. It's not dry yet. So he's peeking around the corner with his basketball trying to get in, but in due time, and it'll be good.
Henning Activities Director Randy Misegades joining us here on the Morning Sports Desk as we're getting these Activities Director interviews ramped up again for another school year. Randy, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. I know it's all busy with the start of the school year and homecoming and things like that, so we appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day to let us know what's going on at Henning.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate all you do.
Once again, want to thank Henning Activities Director Randy Misegades for joining us on the Morning Sports Desk. These AD interviews, we did them in the past on Fridays. We're shifting them around a little bit. We're going to try and do them on Mondays as we go throughout the school year. Always fun to connect those local activities directors. They do a great job advocating for their schools and their programs, and we just want to help them do that again here on the Morning Sports Desk. So keep an eye out every single Monday for your favorite school's activities director to hop on and say a few words. And we're also, Corey, going to say a few words for the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena.
It's a brand new week, which means it's another opportunity for you, if you haven't yet, to get entered into the ultimate prize giveaway from the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. You could win a Nintendo Switch 2 and a 50-inch TV with the ultimate prize giveaway. Here's how you enter. It's so easy. First of all, you may already be entered. If you have a FunZone Rewards account, you are already automatically entered. If you're not a FunZone Rewards member yet, scan the QR code. Here's all the places you can scan that QR code. If you're watching the Morning Sports Desk on YouTube, scan it right now. It's right there. You can see it. If you're at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade, you'll see the flyers up. Scan the code there. Or, of course, on the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade Facebook page. Scan the code and join by the end of the month. You have 15 more days until September 30th for your automatic entry. It's your opportunity to win a Nintendo Switch 2 and a 50-inch TV in the ultimate prize giveaway from the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena.
All right, Corey, we got a couple fun news developments here on the Morning Sports Desk as we kind of recap some Friday news dumpy things or things that happened over the weekend. First, let's start out in the boys basketball realm. And Corey, it turns out that one local coach here is going to be getting his name into the Hall of Fame.
That is absolutely right. 5 actually in total have been named for induction into the MSBCA Hall of Fame. That's the Minnesota Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Those inductees include Sean Noss from Mountain Lake, Rich Newman from Barnum, Mike Roisland from Winnemac and Foston, and Luke Winans from Mountain Iron Buell. And the 5th name on that list, CJ, is Coach Bob Schueller from Browerville, Eagle Valley, and the Tigers, who also spent some time with Russell Tyler Ruthin and all over the place. I mean, it's just an incredible resume that goes to his name. He's been section coach of the year 4 times. He was the 2016 Minnesota State Class A Coach of the Year, an overall record of 438 and 244. He's an assistant coach in volleyball and in baseball. He's been an executive. He's been a section rep on the executive board with the MSBCA. He's been MSBCA president. He's coached in the All-Star Series. He's the current president of the Minnesota State High School Coaches Association. This dude has done it all and a resume to prove it. If you've never had the opportunity to talk with Coach Schueller about a little basketball, you need to absolutely do that. And on top of that, he's the uncle of a friend of mine that I sang with in college.
Yeah, so it all connects together.
Congratulations, Bob. Very well deserved. And welcome in. You're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, congrats. Just one of the great coaches in this area. We have a lot of great basketball coaches in central Minnesota, and his name certainly is up there. I'll tell you from my experiences in high school basketball and growing up at Bertha Hewitt, Browerville was always a tough out. It was, if you could beat Browerville in a season, that's how you knew you were going to be having a pretty good team, just year in and year out, having consistently good basketball teams and being able to keep that program going and doing a lot of really great things, which is awesome. And, you know, in the next couple of years, Corey, he could get to win number 500, which is insane.
State champion in 2004 with RTR too, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm trying to do my math here. What's that? It'd be 20
years ago.
Well, no, I'm talking about the all-time wins. He's 62 wins away. So, you know, depending on how good of a season Browerville has, it could be, you know, maybe 3. But within the next few seasons, there's a real chance that Coach Schueller is going to be running up here on career win number 500, which would just be awesome to get to see and get to see. Again, he's already in the Hall of Fame, but just to get to touch up that resume would be really, really cool. So congratulations to him and that program at Browerville, Eagle Valley. I know they are really proud of their basketball there, and for good reason because of that. So congratulations to him as well.
Cool.
Corey, looking in our other high school sports scene here, if you go to Sports Cow on Facebook, Corey, not only do you get game recaps from the games we do on the air, not only do we get great cross-country updates by Zeke, which, by the way, just posted online at the Cow. It talks about UNC cross-country at the Nike Heartland preview in Sioux Falls and how great they did. So you can go read that up there. As a team, by the way, they got 13th, but there were a couple runners that placed in the top 20, which is awesome. So you can go read that right up there as well. But also you can just see when we find some new records and things like that get put up by other schools. It's just a great way to give them a shout out. And this comes courtesy of Park Rapids Area Panthers Swimming. A new pool record was set last Friday at their Saturday, at their invite. Avery Schueller swam a 24.63 in the 50-meter freestyle, breaking a record that has been held since 2006, nearly 20 years, and now she broke it. Avery Schueller getting that 50-meter freestyle record for Park Rapids area. Congratulations to her.
Way to go. Good job.
Way to go. Great job. It's cool to see those records get broken and to see those kind of things pop up, and that's why you follow Sports Cow on Facebook.
Moo.
All right, Corey, we're going to talk a little Minnesota Vikings here to wrap up the show. Just a real dud of a game. Just a real dud. You had the home crowd going. You had Russell Dickerson performing before kickoff. You had Jared Allen riding in on a motorcycle. You blew the Gallo horn. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that's like happening there and really exciting to see. And the offense was not one of them. Apparently, as they not only didn't score a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. There was a fumble by McCarthy. Overall, just a really rough night when you look at the offense. If you look at the defense, Corey, I felt like they held their own. They gave up some big plays. They got gashed by Bijan Robinson a lot, but they kept them out of the end zone up until the very last point of the game and kind of kept the Vikings in it if they would have gotten any help from offense. So this is the biggest question here, Corey. If we're assigning a blame here, who gets the biggest share of it?
What's the camera called where they show you can see everything from above?
Like a bird's eye view?
People who watch tape, it's like a special tape that they put out in the NFL.
All 22?
All 22 are the people who deserve blame for that game. That was awful. The defense was not good. Whatever. You held them to field goals. That's because Atlanta's not great. Like more than a lesser team scores touchdowns on most of those possessions. The offense was awful. If you want to like hyper specific down, if you want to be reasonable about this, who gets the blame is everybody who's injured, because everybody is injured. That was not a varsity program thrown out onto the field by the Vikings.
Yeah, you had Andrew Van Ginkel that was out. Christian Darrisaw was out. You had Jeff Okudah, who's the third string corner, that's out. There's just a lot of holes. And then, by the way, during the game, Justin School, who was filling in for Christian Darrisaw, got hurt.
Filling in
as in he just stands there.
He was there.
He was there. Center Ryan Kelly got left with a concussion, so you had a second-year guy in Michael Juergens come in the game. And you could kind of tell things really went off the rails when the veteran all-pro center who's seen it all is gone and can't help point out protections, and it's all on the rookie quarterback. That necessarily also didn't help matters either. Aaron Jones got banged up in the game a little bit as well. Overall, just not a great game for the Vikings in more ways than one. And, obviously there's issues with injuries, and you can kind of chalk it up to that. And I think overall, again,
you can completely chalk it up to that, CJ.
And there's some other things here and there, but I think the biggest thing is this is 2 weeks in a row, and maybe not in a row, but let me put it to you this way. So we've played 8 quarters of football, or watched the Vikings play 8 quarters of football this season. 7 of them offensively have been downright atrocious.
Well, and this again, what about defensively has been good? Like, the reason the defense has held teams to points is because the other team's offense hasn't been able to punch it in. Like, this has been a well-rounded poor effort on all sides of the ball. It really hasn't been good. This is like they were hurt in week 1, 2 in some important spots. So, but it's certainly week 2. This to me is very simple. This is they're entirely too injured, and they have a rookie quarterback who we all think is going to be able to do it, but things are a little fast for him right now. And when things are a little fast for you, you need things in front of you to go according to plan. And when things don't go according to plan, like your offensive line being a turnstile, if things are already happening fast, they happen even faster still. I think this is a one track. They're too injured for this to be successful right now.
Yeah, and maybe Christian Darrisaw comes back for week 3. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Harrison Smith comes back. Maybe, there's a lot of maybes. And the Bengals are injured too, who they're going to play next week. Joe Burrow is out for the next 3 months. But hey, it's not like Jake Browning has beaten the Vikings once before, right?
Revenge game.
×2. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is the thing. Have they looked great? No. Are they injured? Yes. Is there still some concerns? Also, yes. Is it week 2? Yeah, and I think this is the thing. We talked about it before the season started, right, Corey? We said, hey, if you can just go 2-2 in September, like if you go 4-0 like they did last year, that's awesome. But like can you just like go 2-2 in the first 4 games of the year and just kind of get your feet under you and then kind of get rolling as the year goes on? And they still have a chance to do that because after they play Cincinnati, I believe that's when they go to the UK to play Cleveland. So like they have an opportunity still to win a couple games. I mean, the next 2 games are still very winnable. So like this isn't the panic button by any stretch of the imagination, but boy, Corey, doesn't it feel like some of the wind has come out of the sail a little bit?
Well, to me, the most concerning thing is that this was a team that, like, yeah, they were resting a lot on, they were putting a lot on a rookie quarterback who just had not played any snaps at all. And still, relatively statistically, he's played almost no snaps of professional football. Right. When hopefully by the end of his career is over, right? But you were putting a lot on that, but also feeling like we are putting our best foot forward in putting a team around him to support the opportunity for him to succeed or fail on his own. And now he's having to succeed on his own because the rest of the team and with the efforts that like by sheer force of injury, they're not providing it. This is a tougher opportunity, right? A lot of times, a lot of rookie quarterbacks are put into bad situations and do bad teams. And Vikings fans felt like, well, at least this rookie quarterback's going to be put on a good team. And as of right now, when you're this injured, you're not a good team. They're not a good team right now.
No. And it even if they have the talent, the depth is gone in that sense where it's, again, one injury to the offensive line and every offensive line is like this. But one injury to your starter, and all of a sudden it feels like it falls apart. 2 injuries to your starters, you're playing a 3rd string tackle and a 2nd string center. It's just not going to go well for you, especially when both of them are like 2nd-year players and not even like an 8-year journeyman or something like that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this gets pieced together. And also too, and again, it's a chicken or the egg. Does the does the quarterback play bad because the offensive line's bad, or does the offensive line, whatever. There's a lot of that kind of thing. Even on pockets where McCarthy had time, whether the pressure is just in his head or whether, for whatever reason, there were a couple plays where it's like some of the interceptions that he threw, it's like just a little bit off the spot, or that they had Naylor wide open down the left sideline. And he just threw a little bit too much of a line drive and should have threw it a little more in the air and missed what could have been a big touchdown.
But I think all of those are easily explainable. Like, you're not wrong. Those were certainly missed opportunities, but like, the interception that he threw on the sideline, like if that ball is just to the outside shoulder rather than the inside shoulder,
right,
it's not an interception. Yeah, he overthrows the guy, but like, to use a basketball comparison, if you have a defense that's in your shorts all game long, and then finally with 3 minutes to go in the game, you're open for a 3, you're going to miss that 3 because you've just felt somebody in your hip pocket the whole time. Did he miss Naylor? 100% he did, but that was that fourth quarter throw or a third quarter?
I think like late third quarter, early fourth.
He'd been pummeled. He'd been sacked 6 times by that point. Like you're going to feel somebody in your face, even if they're not there, because you've been feeling somebody in your face all game long. And because he's still learning, these things are going to be a split second late.
Right. Well, and that's too, this is the thing. Everybody talks about when teams get a rookie quarterback, they go, oh yeah, there'll be some growing pains. There'll be some things. We'll figure them out. Well, it won't be that bad. And then you get in the middle, and then all of a sudden everybody gets impatient. They go, this guy can't do it. And it's like, well, no, this is a growing pain. They're called growing pains for a reason. They're not fun.
Yeah.
Like
the throw to the outside that was intercepted was a really nice play by the D-back. And also you have to throw that ball where no one else can catch it but your receiver. He didn't miss it by much.
Right. And it was also just kind of a lucky play because the corner was able to roll on top of the receiver.
Yeah, it hit the wrong shoulder pad. Like you're not talking about like a terrible throw. We're talking about just a miss. So like, I'm not here to defend him and tell you he's a Hall of Famer. But I am here to tell you that after 8 quarters of football, when things in front of him go right, he can really throw the ball and put it where it needs to be. He really can.
That Justin Jefferson route where he ran and just completely got that rookie safety to bite to the outside and just snapped it back in, ripped off a big chunk play. Obviously, it's a 2-minute defense, so it's a little harder to be like, why couldn't they just do that every time? Because the defense is playing a specific way. But like, it just felt like a little bit of the training wheels are still kind of on. And at some point, they're going to come off, but you can't bring them off just because you're getting impatient that you can't go very fast with the training wheels on. Like, you have to let this run its course. And remember, by the way, like everybody points to, like, remember Phillip Rivers' first start in the NFL? He threw for like 20 yards. Like, it was awful. Jordan Love's first like 5 starts it took Jordan Love like half a season, and that guy sat on the bench for 4 years.
I mean, I hate making these comparisons because you're comparing to these like all-time greats, right? Like Peyton Manning's a Mount Rushmore quarterback in everybody's conversation. And like that guy had 2 wins his first year.
Right.
And was terrible. Like he just was
He set an interception record. Like,
yeah, it was not good. And please know that I'm not comparing these 2 guys. That's not what I'm doing.
That's what we're clipping. Corey compares J.J. McCarthy to Peyton Manning with no other context.
It's that hard for Peyton Manning. And I'm not comparing the 2 because probably J.J. McCarthy's not going to be a Mount Rushmore quarterback, right? Probably.
Statistically, yeah.
If it's that hard for Peyton Manning, how is it going to be for someone who's not going to be an all-time Mount Rushmore quarterback?
It even took Jalen Hurts. Like, remember his first year plus starting in the league?
Josh Allen took him 3 years. It wasn't until year 3 before Josh Allen was a guy who could do stuff.
And it's a weird dichotomy with McCarthy because this team built around him is like they're spending. They have veteran talent. Like they're spending and building a team like they want to win right now, but also they have a rookie quarterback who needs to figure things out.
And none of those guys they spent money on are playing. They're all hurt.
Hey, Jonathan Hargrave had a nice game.
Fine.
Hey, Adam Thielen had, 2 catches?
That was a sweet throw and catch, by the way.
Yeah. He can make a few throws where like, okay, like he can do it. Like
he can make all the throws. They're all a second late. You can see it when they throw it. Like when there's angles, sometimes you're like, that guy's open. He's open. And by the time you say it twice, you throw like, it's going to be a little tardy from time to time.
Just let it figure it out. And this is going to take time. And yeah, like, again, we're not saying like, because this is somebody who picked the Vikings to win a lot of football games this year. We're not saying that like the Vikings are like, oh, if they only win 7 games, like, what do you expect? I think we all can agree that if they win 7-8 games, that we're like, all right, well, that season was a dud. Like, there still are some expectations on this football team, but you also like right away in September have to manage just because they looked bad on offense the first 2 games doesn't mean they're going to be bad on offense the entire time. This is also the first time, by the way, Kevin O'Connell is working with a legitimate rookie quarterback. Like, think of Kevin O'Connell to start his Vikings tenure. Go back to Los Angeles. Kevin O'Connell, when he was the Rams offensive coordinator, had Matt Stafford, total pro. Then he went to the Vikings, who had Kirk Cousins, total pro. And then you had the games with Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins and whatever. But those guys had at least been in the league. They knew what was going on. They've seen defenses.
Smartest guy in the planet.
Right.
And it still took Kevin O'Connell in his headset going, here's the play, here's your options. Right. Here's your 1, 2, and 3 options up until the headset cuts off.
And outside of the one start with Jaron Hall, which was a disaster, but also Jaron Hall was a 5th-round rookie quarterback. So, like, I just don't really use that as an example. But, like, this is the first time that Kevin O'Connell is, like, having to deal with a rookie quarterback and the things that a rookie quarterback does and needing to, like, everybody talks about, remember, with Sean McVay and Jared Goff, like, in Goff's second year, McVay was basically sitting there telling him what to audible before 15 seconds and before the audio cuts out of the helmet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's things that, like, they had to bring him along a little bit, and it took a little bit of time, and that's going to be the same thing. But Kevin O'Connell hasn't had to deal with that. So I'm not saying, like, he's doing a bad job. I'm just saying, like, we're going to see how patient he is with the development and how, like, he brings us along, because he's proven he can work with Darnold, with Cousins, with Stafford, he's proven he can take veteran quarterbacks who know how to be in the league and can elevate them. Now we're just going to see, how does he progress with a quarterback that's never done it before, and how do you bring that along? And again, Jordan Love was a backup for like 3 years, and his first like 10 starts in the NFL were bad. But you got to stick with them and hope that they figure it out.
JJ has some problems that he needs to sort out. As of right now, he is not the problem.
Right.
There's a difference.
There is a difference. All right. That's pretty much it. I think we've hammered home the points that we need to hammer home here. Lynx, how about them?
Yeah, watched a little bit of it. Probably the last quarter and a half or so was able to see. Yeah, no, I mean, whatever. They're
going to do what they're going to do.
The only thing that was interesting in that game was going to be, like, would they come out and do it? Because they've been the number 1 seed.
They've been on cruise control a little bit.
In a season of 45 games, they've been the 1 seed for 3 weeks now. And like they've been an absolute cruise control. And would they be able to come out and just, kick the teeth in of the Valkyries? And the answer to that is yes.
Yep.
They will
first quarter, but they came out and took care of business, and
they'll win on Wednesday and move on. They're better than the Valkyries.
Exactly. So there you go. All right. Morning Sports Desk. Want to again thank Henning Activities Director Randy Misegades for hopping on the program. We'll have more AD interviews coming up every Monday here on the Morning Sports Desk. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as YouTube. Looking to have our guy Zeke on tomorrow again to give us that cross-country update like he's been doing all season long. We'll preview some volleyball tomorrow as well. And, actually, Corey, one more thing before we go. You know who we probably got to blame it on? Royce Lewis did the skull chant yesterday. That's probably it. He just gave the bad Twins vibes into US Bank Stadium.
He did wear the skull shoes, though, week 1. So does he get credit for that?
Yeah, we can give him credit for that.
We want to be fair about it. So I have no problem blaming him as long as he gets some of the credit for week 1.
Yes. Yeah, we'll give him that.
You're welcome, Royce.
A bunch of Twins showed up to watch the game. That's definitely what it was.
Get your stink out of here.
Stay on the other side of downtown. We don't want you here. That's probably what the Lynx said, actually. Like, go to the Vikings game. We're in the playoffs. We can't take this. All right, that's enough. We're out of here. See ya tomorrow.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.